Hi students, welcome to Study Smart channel. Today we are going to look into chapter 2 of Science Standard 5, Humans. Let's start. The topics covered in this video are Human Skeletal System, Human Blood Circulatory System, Importance of Skeletal and Blood Circulatory System, the relationship between the systems in the body, and the ways to protect the systems in the body. Let's start with our skeletal system. Do you know that human skeletal system are made up of bones? Yes, we have hundreds of bones in which each of them have their own functions. For today, let's look at the main few types of bones. First of all, we have the rib bone, also known as rib cage. The function of rib cage is to protect the internal organs such as the lung and the heart. And then we have the hand bone and also leg bone. The function of hand bone and leg bone is to provide support and movement. And finally, we have the skull. Skull will protect the brain from any injury. Well, now is the time for smart question. Did you know that average adult human has a total of 206 bones? But a newborn baby has about 270 bones. How is it possible? How come the number of bones can be reducing as we growing up? Think about this and I will let you know the answer at the end of the video. Now, let's look at the joint. A joint is defined as a place where two or more bones are joined together. The human body has a total of 360 joints. They can be categorized based on their location and also the type of movement they allow. Generally, the most common places where we can find the joints are the neck, elbow, wrist, knee, hip, fingers, shoulder and ankle. Each of these joints have their own functions. The most important function of joint is to allow movement and flexibility of the body. The joints at the neck makes turning and rotation of the head possible. Joints at the knee and hip allow legs to be bent and straightened. Importance of human skeletal system. The first important is that the skull protects the vital organ which is the brain from injury when we fall. Secondly, bones and joints allow us to be flexible enough in order to do exercise. Other than that, hand bone and leg bone allow body movement and balancing. Lastly, we should be grateful for our skeletal system as our body is able to maintain a decent shape due to the presence of the bones. The blood circulatory system plays an important role in our body. This system transports oxygen, water, nutrients and waste products such as carbon dioxide in our body. There are four main parts involved in human blood circulatory system: the heart, blood vessels, blood and the lungs. Each of these parts have their own function. The heart is the organ that pumps blood to the lung and to the whole body. Blood vessel is a tube that carries blood to the whole body. Blood carries oxygen, nutrient, water and waste products such as carbon dioxide in the body. And finally, the lung is the place where the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide gas occur. Our blood circulatory system is closely related to our respiratory system. When we inhale, the air that enters the lung is rich in oxygen and is absorbed into the blood vessel. Here, the blood is known to be rich in oxygen. The heart pumps the blood that is rich in oxygen to the whole body. When the body uses up the oxygen, carbon dioxide will be produced and carbon dioxide will be absorbed into the blood. So, the blood is now known to be rich in carbon dioxide. Blood that is rich in carbon dioxide is transported to the heart and from the heart, the blood will be pumped to the lungs. When we exhale, the carbon dioxide will be removed from the lungs. The blood circulation process is repeated each time we breathe. The importance of blood circulatory system is transport oxygen, nutrients and water to the whole body and transport carbon dioxide and other waste products to be removed from the body. Do you know that each system in our body is related to one another. This is important in order to ensure our body function efficiently. For example, the main function of respiratory system is to transport oxygen. However, it heavily depends on the blood circulatory system to transport oxygen to the whole body. The respiratory system also depends on the blood circulatory system in order to remove carbon dioxide from the body. The blood circulatory system transports oxygen and nutrients to the skeletal system in order to help the growth of the bones. The skeletal system in turn will protect the body and the organs involved in respiration and blood circulation such as the lungs and the heart. The blood circulatory system transports oxygen to the digestive system. The digestive system supplies nutrients to organs such as the heart so that it can continue to function well. Have you ever wondered why we can choke while eating? In order to answer this, you need to understand the pathway of food and air passage in our body. When you eat, the food goes down a tube called as the esophagus to your stomach. When you breathe, the air goes down a different tube called as the trachea to your lungs. These tubes are close to each other in your throat. The throat, which is also known as the pharynx, is a shared pathway for both the food and air. It connects the mouth and nasal passages to both the esophagus and trachea. This is why sometimes if you laugh or talk while eating, food can go down the different tube which is the trachea instead of the esophagus. As a result, it will block the trachea and this makes it difficult for us to breathe because air cannot get to the lung. This is known as choking. Now you can clearly understand how the digestive system and respiratory system are related to each other. A broken hand bone affects the skeletal system. At the same time, the arms become swollen because the blood flow in the blood circulatory system is disrupted. This shows the relationship between skeletal and blood circulatory system. All the systems in the human body need to be taken care so that they can function efficiently. So how do we protect our skeletal system? First of all, we need to consume food that are rich in calcium like milk. We need to involve in more physical activities such as running, jumping, dancing and moving around. And lastly, we need to wear protective gear and seat belts. We can protect our respiratory system by avoiding cigarettes, living in a clean environment and washing hands frequently in order to kill the bacteria on our hand. Reducing the consumption of food that are high in fat and sugar and exercising can help to protect our blood circulatory system. And lastly, for digestive system, we need to eat food that are rich in fiber and also drink enough water in order to protect the system. Well, it's time for smart answer. Our smart question was, why the number of bones in a newborn baby is higher than a grown-up? How come a newborn baby has 270 bones, but as they grow up, the number of bones reduced to 206? Have you found out the answer? Well, the answer is, newborns have about 270 bones because many of their bones are made up of separate pieces of cartilage. This is important to ensure their growth and also flexibility. But as they grow up, these bones will fuse together, resulting in a more rigid and stable skeleton. This is important for an adult because it will help them to support their body and also protect their internal organs. So this is why a newborn has 270 bones, but as they grow up, the adults have only 206 bones. Alright students, with this we have came to the end of the video. Until we meet again in the next video, thank you and have a nice day. Bye.